transition to another developing story. We're talking about the demolition of the studio in Mud Island, the studio built by Congress leader and former Minister Aslam Sheikh, demolished. Teams from BMC and other civic agencies have started to demolish the illegal studios of mud. Movies such as Ram Setu, Adi Purush and many others have been shot in these studios. Yesha, those visuals there on our screens, the demolition process has started. Can we expect that complete demolition of these structures that have been deemed illegal to take place today?
Yes, in fact, the complete structure would be demolished because we've seen that an NGT order, that is a National Green Tribunal order, was put in place, which resulted in this demolition being taken place on a priority basis. Now, when you speak about this order, it was in fact brought in to get the cognizance of the tribunal on the fact that this particular studios, which are along the coast, that is on Mud Island, were illegal. They were there in place for more than 6 months. In fact, because they were not brought down after 6 months is where they should have been brought down then itself. But because that was not the case, which is where we saw that this matter was brought in before the tribunal. In fact, when there was an argument before the tribunal, lawyers for the particular studio had said that they would want to bring down this studio at their own cost. They had in fact even sought some time from the tribunal for that, but however, the tribunal said that they cannot give any further extension to this, which is where the demolition process has started on a priority basis. Let us understand the timeline for this entire studio, which was brought in place. It was only in 2021 that these studios were put up. According to the CRZ norms, the studios cannot be there in place for more than 6 months. But ever since 2021, that is now, it's almost 2 years that these studios were in place, which is where we see that the demolition had become imperative, and which is where now the studios are being brought down. So there will be a complete demolition. In fact, questions were also raised on MCGM. There were remarks which were made because it was said that there were certain norms according to MCGM, wherein more than 6 months the studios cannot be put in place. And now we're seeing that there are several political reactions being brought to this because there was enforcing directorate which had also raised questions and was in fact investigating this case, where it was alleged that there were certain money laundering aspects which were also involved. Yes.
Yesha, we'll further discuss this, but let's listen in to what BJP leader Kirit Somaiya had to say about this.
उद्धव ठाकरे सरकार के भ्रष्टाचार का स्मारक दर्जन भर या अनधिकृत स्टूडियो समंदर की जमीन पर सीआरजेड नो डेवलपमेंट जोन में ये बनाए गए। स्वयं आदित्य ठाकरे ने इस जगह की भाटी गांव की विजिट की थी और उनकी कृपा से ये स्टूडियो बने थे। हमें अभी न्याय मिला है।
Going back to my colleague Yesha. Yesha, BJP leader and former MP Kirit Somaiya has taken personal interest in this matter. He's been following it right from before the order was granted against it. In fact, he's alleged a bigger conspiracy in this. He says it's a scam that was brought together by Aslam Sheikh and Thakres.
Yes, in fact, we've seen that Kirit Somaiya, the BJP leader, has been following this case right from last year onwards, that is June onwards, wherein he had raised this issue with the enforcement directorate, which led to enforcement directorate also further investigating this case. Now that we see that these structures are being brought down, he has in fact reached the very location at Mud Island when he's taken interest, and he's saying that there's a larger conspiracy to it, because rightly, like we've mentioned, that these studios were brought in place in 2021. When you speak about BMC, the BMC is right now under the control of Shiv Sena. When the state government of MVA, that is the Mahavikas Aghadi, was in place, which was where these structures were there. Now we see in 2023, these structures are being brought down. There have been questions which have been raised by several opposition leaders who question as to why these structures are being brought down during the BJP regime. This is the kind of a question that's been put in place. But like the CRZ norms also in fact mentioned that there's only 6 months is where these structures can be in place. But because there was an extension that was given, these structures are not brought down in a span of 6 months. Questions have been raised on on the Shiv Sena-led BMC, as well as the state government then, which had let these structures be in place, which is why we see that Kirit Somaia, the BJP leader, had raised questions on this, while Enforcement Directorate was in fact investigating this case from last year onwards, and had found some kind of discrepancies worth rupees 100 crores. They also approached the Ministry of Environment to look into this, and parallelly there was an NGT case which is also going on. Yes.